Carolina's weather authority. WITN News at 6.
The deputy who lost his life while on duty this past week is laid to rest. A heartfelt farewell coming up. And a tornado was confirmed in the overnight thunderstorms that streaked across eastern Carolina. We'll tell you where and the damage. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Michael Baldwin. We'll have coverage of the storm that knocked out power for many residents in eastern Carolina. But first, a day of remembrance. Hundreds came out to say goodbye to a fellow lawman and brother. Deputy Alan Pearson was shot and killed Tuesday in Lenoir County. Today was a day to remember the man and for others in law enforcement to reflect on what's happened over the last week. Deputy Alan Pearson's casket was covered with the American flag, some say symbolizing the hero that he was. Lenoir County Sheriff's Office estimates over 1,000 law enforcement and public citizens attended the funeral Saturday in Kinston.
You try not to think about it a lot. You just go out and do a job and hope the Lord's with you all the time.
Kelvin Wilson is with the Greenville Police Department and has been in law enforcement for 25 years. He says he's so proud to see so many come out and honor a man who gave his life in the line of duty. It's a job, he says, the average person may not appreciate nor understand how many lawmen put their lives on the line every day.
Sad situation. You come out and you risk your life. You're doing a job that some people don't want to do. And you take pride in what you do, and then something like this happens. It's just a sad day for all of us.
Deputy Alan Pearson was shot and killed Tuesday night after a shootout near Tickbide Road in Lenoir County. The gunman, Clarence Phillips, also died during the shootout. Also injured in the gun battle was Pearson's partner, Deputy Ryan Dawson, who was shot in the neck but is now home recovering. William Heath has been with the Edgecombe Sheriff's Office since the mid-1990s. He says in a time like this, there are those in law enforcement that wonder how would they have handled the same situation.
My thoughts were you wonder what happened. You wonder what went right and what went wrong.
From the high school, the funeral continued to the Pine Lawn Memorial Park in Kinston, where Deputy Alan Pearson was honored with a special ceremony at the cemetery. Dave Marcheski has more.
Ricky Allen Pearson Jr.'s flag-draped casket enters the Pine Lawn Memorial Park to mark its final resting place. It's a day of sadness and a stark reality for one mother that says, it could have been my son.
Tough. I mean, there's been a loss. You have to grieve for his family, because I look at it, that could have been my son out there Tuesday night. He was out there, but my son was spared, and you have to ask, you know, how can you choose which one?
Bagpipes echo the somber sounds of weeping. Pearson's parents and his wife Catherine are forced to bury a son and a husband Saturday afternoon. Mike Ellis says he's known Catherine since she was knee-high. Ellis says he spoke with her last night.
I was amazed when I saw her, because I thought she showed herself, as always, strong.
Strong was the support from the fraternity of law enforcement. It took at least an hour for every last deputy, policeman, officer, and trooper to file in and honor a fallen brother. There are nearly 20 different law enforcement agencies from all over the country, including Florida and Texas, that attended today's funeral.
It was a nice turnout. Glad to see that we were all able to come together. The services were outstanding today.
A 21-gun salute and an empty saddle on horseback marked the loss of a life, an honorary tradition that sends chills down Ruffin's spine.
It's always sad to see a brother lose his life. You never want to see a brother lose his life.
In Lenoir County,
Alan Pearson's name will be honored at the Lost Lawman National Memorial in Washington, D.C. Power outages in eastern Carolina affected thousands of residents this morning after a storm ripped through the area. While power has been restored to all customers, lights on does not mean it's back to normal for everyone. Natalie Kaplan was there in Beaufort County when emergency crews surveyed the damage at one local farm.
Family members living on this farm off Slatestone Road in Beaufort County say they have no complaints. Even though parts of their property were destroyed, no one was injured during Saturday's storm. Landowners tell me there was originally a trampoline where I am standing right now. Then it was lifted up. It flew into the house, bounced off the home, and then landed in the front yard. While Beaufort County officials say this was the only report of damage, more than 10,000 in the area lost power for several hours Saturday morning.
You can have a storm like this affect a whole lot of people without even thinking about it until you find out where the power lines go.
According to Dominion Power Company, the storm wiped out a transition line in this Beaufort County wooded area that took crews several hours to fix. An electrical foreman with the city of Washington says its customers weren't as affected.
We were lucky. It kind of hopped over our lines and only tore up one tap line, so we were able to get ours back on pretty quick.
Unfortunately, the Alleygood farm wasn't as lucky. I'm standing in right now what used to be an old shed that obviously is completely destroyed, but miraculously all the homes in the area are still intact. And intact is what residents are thankful for, who have already started to rebuild. In Beaufort County, Natalie Kaplan, WITN News.
John Pack with Beaufort County Emergency Management tells WITN the National Weather Service has confirmed a F0 tornado did hit Beaufort County this morning, but did not touch down. Well, it's time to get a little perspective on these storms with meteorologist Bob Trahi. Wild weather early this morning indeed.
Yep.
Bob, what do you know about what happened?
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, Michael. Yeah, as you talked about, an EF0 tornado 10 miles east of Washington this morning at about 2:40. Once again, it did not touch down, but winds up to about 80 and 85 miles per hour with it. And obviously, we saw that with the video. Some structures damaged, also some trees down as well. And thankfully, this was the only storm report from this morning's storms. Now we can say advanced Vipers is showing mainly cloudy skies, but well, as far as moisture, just a few scattered showers near Manio and the Outer Banks. But for the rest of us, just dealing with some clouds out there right now. But from the storms overnight, some decent amounts of rain. Keatonville up to a half an inch of rain. For Jacksonville and New Bern, you both picked up 4,500s. A little bit over 4/10 on into Edenton. Hatteras 3,500s. A little bit over a quarter inch into the Greenville area, 2,400s. Elizabeth City with a Hosky and Goldsboro both over about 3/10 of an inch of rain. So we have a lot of clouds out there this evening, even a few scattered showers through the Finger counties moving offshore, and I expect through the overnight hours that skies will begin to clear. A lot of the clouds you're seeing here across North Carolina once again will start to fade away. Current temperatures right now coolest into the northeast, 50s there, 57 to Hosky, 57 Edenton, Greenville at 61, but upper 60s from Jacksonville and into Morehead City. By the way, Easter Sunday looking great. Sunrise temperatures in the 40s. You will need the light jacket for the services. PM 60s, high temperature around 64 degrees, and for this evening 62 by 6. Still lots of clouds out there. 58 by 7, and then by around we'll say the 8 o'clock hour, 54 degrees with decreasing clouds. So a good looking Easter Sunday on the way. I'll have full forecast details coming up in just a little bit. Michael?
All right, my friend, look forward to that. Experts now say there were EF3 tornadoes with winds upwards of 136 miles per hour that ripped through Tennessee and Arkansas this week, part of a massive system that wreaked havoc on much of the country over the past 2 days. The storms have now passed, but the cleanup is just getting started. NBC's Kristen Dahlgren has more.
Incredible images that only begin to tell the story of a horrific night and day, where hundreds of thousands took shelter and nature's fury took aim.
Sounded like somebody was shooting at the roof. Bang, 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 bang. I saw insulation, house insulation flying past the window. And then I dived into the family room behind the sofa.
Bill McKay and his wife took cover as a tornado ripped the roof off their Murfreesboro, Tennessee home. They escaped with just scrapes and bruises and a deep appreciation of just how lucky that makes them.
There's so much tragedy that can happen with a storm like this. And for us to just live through it with our health really is amazing. And our guardian angel was looking out for us and taking care of us.
But you don't have to go far to find tragedy. In Murfreesboro, a mother and her 9-week-old were killed. In all, the storms took at least 6 lives, injured dozens, and destroyed hundreds of homes across 15 states. From Thursday through Saturday, there were more than 500 reports of severe weather, over 60 possible tornadoes. A massive swath of damage from Arkansas through Alabama and Georgia. Thousands now left to pick up what nature's trail of terror left behind.
We understand more severe weather could be ahead in that area on Sunday.